Hi, it's reality TV girl Ali, and today we're joined by a very special guest from Married at First Sight season 14. We're going to be talking about his time on the show, some of the things that we didn't get to see, and a life update since we last saw him. So, welcome, Mark. Do you keep up with Married at First Sight at the new season?
Oh yeah. I watched the season just out of curiosity to see if it's similar, how the couples do. Just kind of, I think this season definitely has been more entertaining than any of the ones I've seen in a while. You know, I think having the new experts, nothing against the old experts, but these new experts are just, it's kind of like they're not going off of a script, even though there really wasn't a script for the old people. It's just, I think just the dynamics of the group settings are different. You know, they never did that before. So it's more entertaining to watch. I think every couple is entertaining to watch. You don't have a couple that's kind of dry or.
But you do have one because they're doing so well, Marissa.
You do have one that's doing very well. I definitely think
because of that, it's kind of like they don't show them as much because there's not a lot of drama. Fingers crossed that they make it.
Yeah, I mean, there is some leaked footage of like her with a ring on. I've seen on some Instagram pages. So some wedding certificates. So I think it's fair that probably pans out based on what we see. So it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does pan out. I'm so excited. I'm living vicariously through them because the other. So no, I agree with you completely about the experts. So at first I was a little heartbroken because I just love Pastor Carl and Dr. Pepper.
Pastor Cal's great.
Like that kind of hurt me a tad bit. And then I started watching it and I'm like, these experts are amazing.
It's different. It's different because going from Lifetime to Peacock too, like they're allowed to like not censor the swearing and not censor certain things. So it's like, even not that the experts swear, but like I caught, Dr. Lisa once or twice, swear. So it's kind of like so different to see this, not cookie cutter, but this kind of formula of how they were doing the experts with the new experts and the new settings. It's way more, it's more current.
Yeah. And to the older experts, I really do think that they had a lot of limitations, that there were things that they just couldn't do or say, I suppose, or maybe it's just their personalities. It seems to be a personality thing as well.
Probably the personality and just the way that they believe in their experts as therapists and what they didn't want, like how deep they didn't want to go on the show and how they would go. So, these ones, I mean, all the experts have been great. This is just a new view of how the experts are. And it's trendy. It's a little trendier. And it's kind of working well with this group of people. So I think both things are catalysts for each other to make them pop. And it's been a good run. And also, I think all the couples, with 7 couples, you can find the best footage to capture. To really make it, because if you have 3 couples like when they started and one's really boring and also doesn't want to be on camera, you can't just show one couple the whole season. So you got to show them on. If you're going to lose viewer interest, and when they went to 4, they went to 5, you really kind of had to find a way to keep the same formula while, but this is a good group. I'm kind of glad Courtney is off because I couldn't watch her anymore with Nick. I felt bad for Nick.
Listen, I had to imagine having to apologize to Nick because initially I had Nick like he is the red flag. He was on every reality show in existence before this. There is no way this man is serious about this process.
Well, I never watched him on any other show. I never watched any other shows he was on, but just as a viewer, and again, like, I don't know Courtney, I don't know Nick out of the whole wall, but like as a viewer, Nick being into tech and being into that field, it's almost like the shows help him get outside of his box and kind of be a little more outgoing.
Yeah.
Not to say he's this introverted, quiet, geeky guy who does, computers, but even with the girl as rambunctious as Courtney, he couldn't even tame her. He was too he was too much of an introvert. Yeah. So maybe he does the shows to kind of get outside of his box and kind of just try to live a little bit.
Yeah, maybe, but
I don't know.
I suppose he has his reason for doing all these shows.
I wish all the couples well, and I have nothing against any of the couples. I think that Courtney being put into the situation with some random stranger, a guy that she set up to marry, knowing without even knowing her past, there is some trauma there.
Yeah.
When it comes to or it comes to closeness with a guy. So it's really difficult to say, kind of like, are you ready to marry some random guy and be put in a room with them where you have to live with them for 8 weeks, knowing that you may have gone through some trauma where you can't get too close with somebody.
Yeah.
It's kind of tricky to I kind of feel bad to watching her unfold in that marriage, knowing what she probably went through internally from a therapeutic point of view. She wasn't probably comfortable. It probably had nothing to do with Nick. It was just that she couldn't be comfortable next to some random guy that she just met.
I agree. And also,
she didn't handpick him. So I feel like it made her look probably crazy in the situations.
It made her look crazy in the situations. But I also feel like, I think my issue with Courtney is that she kept trying to blame Nick. It's like she's uncomfortable in these moments. And instead of kind of taking it in and just accepting that this is not comfortable for me, she kept throwing it back at Nick, and nobody's seeing the issue she's pointing out in Nick. Like, even when she went to the family dinner and she was like, guys, grill him, guys. And they were like, no, he's great. She was
I know, that was so weird. That was so weird.
That was crazy.
Like, I can't think of somebody who comes into a family dinner and when their partner leaves, it's like, hey, what kind of shit can we find out? Who says that?
Yes,
like,
and she said, but also
I don't know. I mean, there was just
she brought him.
I mean, she probably has a lot of like, you know, like a lot of pressure from her parents. I mean, they're both into bodybuilding. She's really into bodybuilding.
She's rigid.
She's really, you know, so between the parents putting pressure on her to be perfect or perfect in bodybuilding, that can stem into relationships. And if she had trauma in a relationship, then all those things, all those wires, that they don't connect back the same way.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was probably difficult in just this situation, unless the guy was like a 10.
Well, she thinks Adam is
even if Nick's like an 8. I know.
Which is
Adam would have even if she got with Adam for just the looks wise and the intensity, Adam would have been like, you know, you're cooked.
Yeah,
you
vibes. The vibes are not there. The vibes.
You need to calm down. You're
But you know, this is why I know Courtney doesn't know what she wants. And I think after this, she's probably going to do some introspection. Courtney keeps saying that Nick is not deep enough. Adam has only used 3 words this entire process, and it's vibes and pickleball and, you know, jet skis. And Courtney thinks,
but even with Adam's great because, but Adam too, it's kind of like how Sean said it, but Sean said it too much of like a professor, you know, dissertation way. Sean could have been like, I love the personality that you show. It's awesome. It's fun. It's charismatic. It's vibes. It's chill. It's cooked. It's all this fun stuff. But it seems like you're just hiding this deeper side of you that can come out.
Yeah.
And this is your cool armor that you're showing, maybe based on what it was like as a kid. And all she wants to see is a deeper side of you than just cooked and vibes.
Yeah.
She loves it, but that's what works for Adam. It's like maybe he was this kid who wasn't as cool or as fit, you know, as popular. And then he got good looking and got fit and everyone loved his personality. This works. So he doesn't want to bear off of that to go back to what his parents expected him to be.
Yeah. I want more from Adam. I just want him to dig deeper. I feel like it's not
so
fair
hard
to Marissa because she's just there, and I can tell that it feels to me like she's not getting any chance to be herself because the focus is just on him and what he wants and what he wants to do. And it's just,
I think in this process, you know, I had a similar thing like mine, how Marissa is like, well, we couldn't find our voice in the beginning process because of who we were matched with. Yeah. You know, I think, you know, and I think with her, there's an attraction with her partner. I didn't really have it in the same sense, but I think that, you know, she's not finding her voice and putting her foot down because she doesn't want to rock the boat, which I get. I was the same way. I didn't want to rock the boat. I knew what it would do if I had my voice. It would cause more fights. So I just kind of let things be. I found it later. She's starting to find her. Sometimes you find it too late. I mean, 8 weeks goes by quick, but it feels like a long time. I mean, 1 month feels like 6 months. It's a long time.
It's just that this is such a fast-paced process. You kind of can't wait. By the time you figure out, all right, now I'm going to start speaking of, it's just going to be too late.
I think a lot of people know really within within the first 4 weeks, like, because like, even though it is a marriage, you think mentally from just life, if I'm dating this person, would I really want to be with him or not? Whether this is a marriage or dating, would I really want to stay with him all the time? And you kind of have a gut knowing of that, but you kind of go in a direction of either faith or, let's try, so it's going to be, I already have my predictions for decision day.
Yeah.
I think the best thing is, okay, so give me a couple and I'll tell you my prediction.
All right. So Adam and Marissa, are they gonna stay together or not?
I think if I was to shoot the production the right way, I would go to Adam for his answer first.
Okay.
Because Adam's gonna say yes. Because why would he say no?
Right.
He's got a great thing in front of him, and he's gonna be like, yeah, we're vibing. She's solid. We're not cooked, so we're chilling. Let's just continue it. Why not? Now that puts the pressure on Marissa to say, okay, now I gotta say yes or no. So I think she might say yes, but come reunion, they might not be together.
Okay.
Because in my situation, I was like, if I say no, I can't go back and say yes. But if I say yes and we just don't work out, I can say no. Now it was a little trickier to say no to Lindsay, but later on. But Cam and Michelle are 100% yes.
Yes.
I also think that with Nikki and Sean, they'll go to Sean first for his answer, and he'll say yes. And I think the coin will be flipped on whether I think Nikki might say no.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Nikki will say no, only that within 8 weeks, even though things got better for a marriage, it's a little trickier to be not 100% there. Okay. But maybe they'll hang out, maybe they'll date or keep in touch, and who knows, but I don't think it will go beyond a friendship. I think Devin and Caitlin, again, so I think Devin will be a yes.
Yeah.
And that puts the pressure on Caitlin, and I think she'll be a no. But I think they will potentially either it's a yes and a no, or it's a no and a no. Okay. But I think that they might try to date, because I think that it would be stupid not to for them. And who knows? And then Felipe will say, yep, right away.
Immediately.
I committed to Tori on the wedding day. I committed to her on decision day. Yeah. I don't know who will be. I think Tori will say no. I think she'll throw a lot of, not jabs, but a lot of tough statements for him to hear that will hopefully make him wake up on, like, next girl I meet, I got to be like, sure, I want to commit to her or not. Yeah. I think that Mecca will say yes if they go Mecca first. Jolie will say no, because there was too many ups and downs where he was nice to her and then threw something at her that, like, she wasn't good enough. So it's going to be too much of, like, he's good to me, but then he's saying, I'm not good enough at all. So yeah. Even if Courtney and Nick got to decision day, they probably would have said no.
Yeah, and they should. They are not compatible at all. I want to talk about your season a little bit, because, by the way, your season was quite dramatic too. I feel like all the couples in your season got camera time, because there was something happening with each and every couple. And you had some explosive scenes. But let me ask, what did you ask for when you were telling the experts what you were looking for?
So I said I want somebody short. I typically have gravitated in my dating history prior to the show to just shorter females that are, like, more short and petite and not tall, like as tall as me. And, hair color was blonde to brown, athletic figure, because I'm into the gym. So Lindsay was just taller than the normal person I would date. She was cute. She was, athletic. So it worked there. I think just the downside of us kind of getting always compatible was her speaking was just not the same way that I would communicate in public or in group settings, or, so it was difficult to more attraction to her if that was coming out. It was kind of like, if I think you're, an 8.5 and you say something really kind of out of context in public, it brings it from an 8.5 to like a 7.5. And then everything you say is that I don't feel comfortable being with you in a public setting. It dumbs down that number more and more. And then it becomes harder to get intimate. And then we're just basically like coexisting.
Yo, you had us all on edge because we were so scared for you. It was just so uncomfortable to watch. It really was so intense. No, we saw that. We could see you looking scared.
I think that, like, you know, in our situation, the experts probably took what we went through in life from different standpoints, different trauma, and how we could heal each other. Right. Maybe was the goal. Because sure, we could. Because like Lindsay didn't have someone that showed up for her in her early years. I could have been that person that kept on coming back and showing up and taking the abuse and showing up. But at the same time, my triggers were yelling and some of the verbal things. And then I would leave based on what I saw in my childhood. So that didn't help her. So we would have had to have done like, you know, 8 to 12 months of work twice a week to get to a healthy place. Yeah. And we just couldn't do it in 8 weeks. It was like, I would have had to have done therapy one-on-one with somebody outside the show, probably 2 to 3 times a week to stay in my marriage in a really good place. And we weren't doing that. You know, she had a therapist, but she had seen them for 10 years. So like, if she had seen someone for 10 years and she was still at that point, they might not be doing you justice. Yeah. But, you know, a lot of what we went through was trauma. Yeah.
What was the breaking point? I'm thinking of that bowling alley situation. Was that the breaking point for you? Like, was it after that that you said we're done?
So every week for 8 weeks, I remember telling, you know, either the guys or production, like, guys, I don't know what to do with this girl. I'm not getting there. Like, I felt bad because I wasn't catching emotions in a way where like I wasn't going to fall in love. I had love for her in the sense of trying to care for this person who I felt had some wound in her, but I couldn't get over the hump of falling in love. It just wasn't clicking. I wasn't getting there where like I wanted to, you know, lay her down in bed all the time. I couldn't get some kind of connection towards somebody that's supposed to be my wife. And I felt it was becoming unfair. But I also said to myself, as you know, the week before decision day, I went through some tough things personally, and she was very supportive. So I was like, maybe if I say yes and we still don't get there outside the show, I'll say no. But if I say no, I know I can never go back to a yes with Lindsay. It was just like, that's it. I'm dead to her if I say no. So, you know, she told me that. She's like, if you say no to me, you're blocked. Don't ever contact me. You're out of my life. I'm like, I'm going to wish you a happy birthday. Don't ever call me again. I'm like, okay. I'm like, it was either I'm alive or I'm gone. So yeah, I said yes because I'm like, maybe when we're just together and we're not around this production, we're not around a schedule, we can just do normal life together. Maybe it'll be fun and a little more carefree. It just never got there. And then, you know, we were together 2 months after the show. I moved her in my house and it was just not getting there. I remember literally telling her one day, I was trying to be so transparent, so genuine. I was like, listen, what we have is not the best marriage for you or for me. I said, I don't think I'm going to fall in love with you the way you deserve. And I don't think I'm going to get to a place where I want to get intimate with you the way your husband should want to. Right. And I said, this is just not going anywhere. And she was like, so you want a divorce? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I want that whole thing on camera. I want that all recorded. I'm like, we're not playing this game. She wanted to videotape me around the house and catch me saying things. So I was like, it just got too much. Like I felt like I was trapped in my own house. The videotaping of me, and then she wouldn't leave because she gave up her place, which even if I told her to keep it just in case, that would have caused a fight. So, she had given up her place to move in with me, so she had no place to go. I did have a third floor apartment that was open. She went up there for 2 months until she found a new job and found a new place to live, and then she moved away. But I mean, it was just like, how do you not realize in a situation that is not healthy for either of us, that this is just almost like a one-sided point of view? Like, you're not getting anything met that you deserve. I know I'm not. How are you not seeing that just from an outside perspective that we don't work? And I'm not trying to throw you to the curb. I'm trying to say, hey, maybe you should start looking for a place and I'll help you as like your friend and we can figure out how to like resolve this. But it was like, I'm not leaving your property. You're not kicking me out. I'm here for a year. I'm not leaving. I'm like, well, you're not bringing dudes home. Like, we're not like, what do you want to do?
That would be awkward.
I mean, she was like, I can get any guy I want. I'm like, well, there's the door. If you're that,
Yeah.
find, you have the money, she kind of, I think she felt like she threw away her place and now I was kicking her to the curb. I'm like, no, it was just like, we don't work. Start to look. I'll help you. I'll help you figure this next phase out the door into a new place. So
it's fair to say you do not keep in touch with Lindsay.
No, I actually, that was that was the only relationship in my life that gave me such trauma that, I mean, I didn't want to date for a whole year. I didn't want to get close to people. When we did reunions, I didn't want to be in the building. She was in the building. I wanted to wait in the car. Just the sound of her voice just sent, like, I remember there was one scene where it wasn't a scene. We were going into a scene. And it's the first time in my life where I went back to a place to get a haircut, in a couple cities away. I remember driving back to my apartment and getting anxious. I remember being in the apartment building, not even in my room, but just walking up the hallway and be like, I'm afraid to go in there. Now, she wasn't even home. I was just petrified to go in there. I could feel the trauma. Mm-hmm. I've never encountered that in a relationship before, but I also knew that came from my childhood, watching my mom yell at my dad, and it didn't hit me full circle until Pastor Cat was like, do you feel your marriage is your mother yelling at your dad? You're your father. And I was like, holy shit, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was constant. It was like being in a marriage that I saw as a kid that I didn't want to be in.
So I know you're dating somebody now. So tell me a little bit about that. Are you happy?
Oh yeah, I'm happy. She's a great partner. She's supportive. There's an attraction there. I have told her that I do love her. But one of the coolest things about that is, real quick ending story. Me and Lindsay, we interviewed in room 222 in Burlington when we were applying for the show. When we got picked, we used to joke about it. Oh, 222, 222 with our producers. Fast forward to 2025, Lindsay gives birth to her son on 222. I remember telling Mike, I'm like, dude, I'm never going to forget this kid's birthday. It's 222. Like, I'm not going to forget that. That was our number. 2026, I'm in Burlington at the mall, and I matched with this girl on 222 in Burlington. And she's actually driving to the mall as I'm leaving the mall. And we both went to the same college in different states. We both studied the same degree. There was a lot of things that were aligned. So it's just interesting how here's a girl I was matched with in room 222. We didn't work out. She gives birth to her son on 222. I meet my current girlfriend on 222. It's just funny how we were aligned in this room, but we weren't meant to be in the same room. Right. But it set us up. It set us up for something down the road. From what purpose,
Yeah. And I'm sure that bad experience from that prior relationship is kind of helping you know, like, you know exactly what you do not want.
Oh, yeah. It definitely made me ground. It definitely made me tougher. It made me stronger vocally. It made me stand up for myself more now. I did do therapy for a year later. I did therapy for a whole year after the show to learn why I do certain things in relationships, why I go back to them, and, why I leave them, because I broke up with every girl I've ever dated. And I wanted to know why. But, I always said I would do the show if I was single, which I'm not now, but if I was, I would do it again because you do come out better in so many ways, whether through the process, watching it back. And if you end up with a partner, that's even the best bonus. But if you don't, you do come out better if you can take away what you learned, Yeah.
I'm glad to see that you're doing good now and you're happy because we really did feel for you on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It was nice chatting with you. We'll catch up again now that I know you're watching this current season because I need people to talk about.
Oh, I'm watching.
We have to talk after the finale because
we're going to catch up and talk about it. Season 20. What went down?
All right, Mark. So we will talk again. Thank you so much for chatting with me. This is fun.